Welcome to the Laughter Clinic podcast with comedian and suicidologist Mark McConville, bringing you practical, evidence-based self-care strategies, the latest research in mental health, along with conversations that inspire, educate, and entertain. This is the Laughter Clinic podcast with your host, Mark McConville.
Jodi Allen, welcome to the Laughter Clinic podcast. How are you going?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited for our chat today. And, so who is Jodi Allen? You know, clinical nutritionist, a bachelor's degree in nutrition, and you're a health coach in nutrition, and you do trauma-sensitive yoga teaching and diploma of counselling, and currently studying a master's degree in counselling as well. So you're a busy lady.
I know. Many hats.
And we've got an exciting announcement for our listeners that we're going to talk about at the end of this episode. So before we get into all things Jodi Allen, we start the Laughter Clinic podcast by asking our guests the same question centred around the saying, laughter is the best medicine. So this is a saying that's been around for over 3,000 years. And now we have modern day research supporting not only the physical benefits of laughter, but the psychological benefits of using your sense of humour as a coping mechanism. So when you hear the saying laughter is the best medicine, what does that conjure up for you?
I think for me, it's, beyond what the science, shows about laughter, but it's the visceral, it's the physical feeling of it. And for me, whenever I think about when I laugh the most, it's with others. It's with friends, family, it's connection. It's
I love that aspect of it, how it brings people together.
Yeah, and like it's like nature's de-stress, it's and to quote the castle, it's the vibe, man. It's the vibe.
It is totally the vibe. It's the vibe.
It is. It's just, when you get together and have a hearty laugh with people, it's, nothing else, you're not in your head, nothing else matters. It's a great feeling.
That connection is interesting, isn't it? Because you can have the connection that you have with your friends that you're close to when you all laugh together. That's something that you all share, but how you can also share that with a total stranger. And then, like if you're in a social situation or something and you find yourself both laughing at something, there's that spark of connection as well, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Can't beat it. See?
Can't beat it.
Laughter is the best medicine. So counselling. So, before we get into the whole counselling stuff, you spent 14 years in the RAAF, right?
Yep.
And I should say how you and I met, right? So you and I met we both work for the organisation For Aussie Heroes, and this is an 11-day live-in rehabilitation retreat, which has been going for, I can't remember how many years now, but I swan in on a Friday night and do my laughter clinic for a couple of hours. And you started by doing, trauma-sensitive yoga and nutrition with these guys, but now you're actually the lead facilitator of the whole program.
Yeah.
So for our listeners who might not be familiar with the For Aussie Heroes and the Triumph Over Trauma program, let's have a bit of a chat about that, because it's incredible stuff, what's happening.
Yeah, sure. I'm very proud of the program and grateful. I've been there since day dot, since the very first program. I think it's like
Was it 2018 we did the first one?
7 years ago, I think now. The first program. And I was a visiting presenter for many years, and then the opportunity last year to become the lead facilitator of the program. So I'm there for the duration, and that's why I'm furthering my study and that as well, to learn and expand my knowledge and be able to be even better at what I do. But I love it. It's incredibly rewarding, and it's this bi-directional pathway when you're helping others It's helping yourself as well in a way. It's
And this is a program that's specifically for first responders and veterans suffering from PTSD, and it's so holistic in its approach to the treatment, isn't it? Like all of the things that we cover in the program, obviously aside from what you and I do, the trauma-sensitive yoga, nutrition and the laughter stuff, but there's so many other aspects to it, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very immersive. So we're out in nature, we're walking, we're exercising together, we're practicing yoga together, we're going to equine therapy.
How good is the equine therapy?
Yeah, with the GGs.
I saw that for the first time last year, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like those horses are amazing.
They are.
How they pick up on people's energy.
They read energy, and they have what I didn't learn about them. I didn't know about them until immersing in the equine therapy, as well as they have very strong boundaries. They're like, you're in my space, give you a bit of a nip on the butt, off you go. And then
who's giving who a nip on the butt? What?
The horses, right. Not the humans. Sorry, I should have clarified.
You see them standing out there with the people, and the horses just come up and start giving them a sniff, right?
There is no human nipping, thankfully. But yeah, they're fascinating. They're fascinating to watch, and there's so much to learn from them. So yeah, it's I love it. It's very immersive, and we're all through lived experience.
Yeah,
we're all shared stories, shared meaning, and experience, and connecting over that, and can help people that might be feeling quite isolated, especially in their journey, as we call it. Brings people together.
One of the things I really love about the program, and I get to see this firsthand when I come in on the Friday night, is the fact that the participants start on a Monday morning and they're till the following Friday, but on the weekend in the middle, the partners show up, for the Friday through till the Sunday night, and spend that time with them. And I think bringing the partners into it is just so important, because that's one of the things that I say to them is, we, like when I start the presentation, when I say thank you for your service, and I want to acknowledge the toll that service can not only take on you, but can also take on your loved ones. And I think bringing the husbands and wives and partners into be part of that rehabilitation is genius.
Yeah, I don't know of any other program that has partners involved, but even for participants that don't have an immediate partner, they can bring. We've had bosses come along, we've had support workers come along, family members, parents, aunties, uncles, best friends. So everyone's included, but it can be really helpful for the partner or the support person that's coming along. They see a group of people, they're hearing, similar experiences from others, and, have a greater understanding. We talk about how the brain works, and, empathy and compassion for family members as well as the participant as well. It is something that everyone, the whole family or the inner circle goes through. So it's brilliant.
I love like getting the feedback from the participants is one thing, but when you have like I remember one instance where a wife of a participant came up to me and said, you got no idea how much it means for me to see him laughing.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that for so long.
Yes.
And you forget, like that, how something that we take for granted, we talk about laughter is the best medicine in connecting with our friends and all this sort of stuff. But the amount of times that I've been talking to veterans or first responders over the years, and it seems like laughter is one of the things that, or joy is one of the things that is a real it's a cost. Like it's something that leaves them a lot of the time.
It can be frequently. I don't remember the last time I laughed like that, or it's post-traumatic stress, chronic stress, grief, it can really suck the joy and the laughter out of you. And there can be also in grief too, it's, I feel guilty for experiencing joy or happiness here. So sometimes we can, as a protective thing, shut that part of us down from experiencing it as well. Or when we're depressed, it can be really hard, when the dark cloud is over us, to see joy or laughter around us. But we know how powerful it really is.
Oh, isn't like... I just see it on the Friday night when I'm there for a couple of hours,
Yeah.
And it's so cool seeing, you've got fireys or paramedics and police officers and, military people all coming together and that shared laughter with those. And I got to tell you, like they got a great sense of humour, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's one of the things that we talk about is that self-enhancing humour, that. Using humour as a way of coping with stress and trauma and being a way to lift yourself up when you're going through some heavy shit.
Yeah.
And these men and women are going through heavy shit sometimes on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
And using humour as a way to cope with it. And then when you see them all together, like I said, I just see it on a Friday night, but you must see that bonding from day one when they come in to...
Definitely.
It must be a bit emotional on the last day when everybody sort of...
yeah, absolutely. The last day is tough, and the last couple of days leading up to it, we're really checking in on each other, on ourselves, and, because we do bond really quickly as a group and... the carry-on is often the energy lift after you've done your session on the Friday night. It carries over the next day and people are still, you can see they're feeling a little bit lighter and they're bringing up some of your bad jokes.
Bad jokes? What? Hey, what do you...
I'm sorry, really good, Karen.
Bad jokes. You say it. What do you... Cut. I'm going to edit that
I'm
bit out.
not coming back again.
Bad joke. I don't know what you mean
Sorry,
by that.
Sorry, really amazing.
What do you
really
mean?
amazing.
What do you mean by bad jokes?
Really amazing jokes.
You laugh, eh?
I'm paid to.
Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh. I mean, I'm saying that you...
Okay, let me backtrack a little bit.
What do you mean?
No, what I do love is that often in the group... Stop. We...
What do you...
Get over it now.
I want to know the bad jokes.
Moving right along. Is we'll often have one or two, they'll say on the first day, I'll often use humour as a deflection or a coping strategy, but I actually, appreciate them as well because they can lighten the group and they bring humour out in the group in that as well. So, yeah, they help me in my job, that's for sure, because I like to use humour throughout the program as well because it works. If you're all serious and heavy and you're talking about mental health, then it just saps everyone's energy. So
you're saying that you use your own bad jokes throughout the 2 weeks?
Yeah. That's...
See, I'm gonna take it that you said bad jokes is in, because we laugh with those guys about stuff that the general public probably wouldn't laugh at.
Yeah,
like that's the thing. Is
that dark humour.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
that's what I say is, when I'm talking to in a corporate environment, I say what makes a police officer or a paramedic laugh probably offends most people in general society. But does that make it wrong? Absolutely not, because they're using it as a coping mechanism and a way of connecting with the people around them.
Yeah. And, we know like the neurochemicals that just laughter releases, it's all the, endorphins and serotonin,
dopamine, all that.
All of those feel-good chemicals. So it brings us together and it's an instant de-stress.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very powerful stuff. So it's
even
not,
when the
not
jokes
by
are
accident.
bad. But anyway,
Moving right along.
moving right along. So one of the other things, so in your private practice, right? So you've got clients where you're talking about nutrition and doing yoga and all that sort of stuff. There is a toll that gets, like, it's a toll when you're working in a high stress environment, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
so talk to us about, you know, what that toll takes physically and mentally. Like when you're working in a high stress environment, and it doesn't have to be in the military or first responders, it could be, you know,
Yeah.
you're an executive and you're in charge of, you know, 300 people and you've got to try and figure out a way to keep everyone employed, or you're a business owner and that sort of stuff. Like there's a lot of people that are affected by stress at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. We're in very stressful times, and I think you know, we need a certain amount of stress to, you know, to perform, to memory recall, to, you know, get up and go and achieve what we need to achieve. But when it becomes chronic, and, you know, depending on the nature of it too, if it's quite distressing for, you know, what the first responders are exposed to on a daily basis, it, you know, builds up. It builds up in the physical body, you know, cognitive overload, and it just, we get to this point where often in these high stress roles, it's just keep moving forward, just keep going. There's no down regulation. There's no, you know, dialing down the nervous system. So when we're just constantly on all the time, in, you know, veterans, first responders, military, you know, we call it hypervigilance, this constant state of looking for threat and risk.
Awareness,
risk assessment constantly. And when it becomes, you know, chronically switched on, the body, the nervous system, the brain just becomes stuck in this loop. And we absolutely must be able to regulate and calm our nervous system in spaces, because that chronic switched on, wired state has detrimental effects to our physical and mental health. So with our, you know, physical health, there's, you know, cardiovascular risk. It suppresses our immune system. So we'll see autoimmune disease. It can switch on autoimmune responses and disease, chronic stress, or even just acute illness. So the body really just, it's amazing what the body will keep just sustaining, because for, you know, for some people it can be years, it can be decades of being in that, you know, go, push state. And then it's going to crash at some stage. And how that comes up can be a variety of ways. And if it's not physical, it will come out physically eventually, but, you know, mentally, it's, you know, it increases anxiety, our risk of depression, as you know, suicidal ideation. When our bucket is full and it's overflowing and there's no release valve for that chronic stress, it overflows, you know, and it affects our, you know, resilience. We can be highly reactive to even, you know, the smallest stressor then. So, and often, you know, people will say to me, I don't know why that set me off. That was minor really, but that tipped me over the edge. And it's like, because your bucket is full. And
that heightened level of awareness, you know, like I probably noticed that the most with police officers when I'm working with Queensland Police, where, you know, here's men and women that are on a 12, 14-hour shift, however long it is, and that whole time they're, you know, whatever circumstances they've had to go through during their shift, but there's that heightened level of awareness as to, you know, what's going on when they pull someone over or they go to a domestic violence is a big thing. People, I know that's one of the ones that police officers really do not like attending, domestic violence. But they have to do it, right? It's part of their job, so that it heightened sense of awareness. And then at the end of their shift, we just expect them to switch off that heightened sense of alertness and awareness, which has been embodying them for the last 12 hours. And, they're standing in line at a service station waiting to pay for petrol, and, someone behind them drops something on the floor and it smashes, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, what's happened?
Yeah.
And you can't blame them for that, because, that's like I don't know how to, I don't know whether we do a good job of bringing them out of that heightened level of stress and awareness to just come home and be a neighbour and a husband or a wife or a father or a brother or whatever, you know what I mean?
I think, because they're basically wired. It becomes bone deep. It's wired into the brain, into the nervous system.
Which is what we want for them, for their safety as well,
Yeah, exactly. So very, like you said, it's very hard for us to expect that they can just turn that off. And what tools are we giving them as well from the day that they recruited and join the service? No matter what service it is okay, we're training you to be on and to be reactive and to be, constantly aware. What are you also on the flip side of that going to do to look after yourself?
Is this something that comes up a lot in the program, that inability to be able to switch off?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's like in the I'm so used to, when we're in a yoga practice, there's, people tapping their feet or, there's a lot of movement in that. I'm like, it's all right. Just move as much as you need to. And it's like, well, I have to be still here. Like, no, you don't, because it's become such a barrier, and it can also, especially when we're looking at post-traumatic stress, the brain and the nervous system can go, whoa, I don't really feel safe with, if I drop everything and drop my guard down, I'm not safe here. So it can be really, really challenging, especially when it's been, a long period of time of just on and, and hypervigilant especially.
Yeah. And with the program, so we run it for 2 weeks. I know we're going back to the For Aussie Heroes program, but it's such a big part of both of our lives.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
So I'm sure that you're happy to talk about it. Run us through what happens in a refresh program after we've had them for 2 weeks, and then a couple of months later.
3 months later.
3 months later they come in. So run us through what happens on a refresh weekend.
Yeah, this is something else that's quite unique to the program. So 3 months later, we invite them all back for a few days, and we get to just, how have you been traveling? What has I learned so much about what works and what doesn't work when we go through a refresh, just being able to sit with each other and go, okay, I found going back to exercise. It was great while I was on the program because we were doing it all together. Then when I got home, that was, pretty difficult to find the time for that. Or, just different, or people going, okay, I just changed 3 things that you gave in my nutrition plan and I've lost 10 kilos. So we have some really rewarding feedback and experiences, and we also talk about the stuff that's been hard as well. It's not we don't expect everyone to go home after 2 weeks and instantly. We're not curing.
There's no silver bullet.
We're not offering cures.
Yeah.
We're not fixing.
It's management.
It's what can you take home? What practical things can you take home with you that improve your quality of life while you're in recovery and trying to live the best life that you can.
Yeah. And it's going to be, obviously when you come back on the refresh and you're finding out what worked for it's going to be different for everybody. Everyone's going to have their own things that, because one of the beautiful things I think in the advancement of mental health at the moment is the fact that, we finally acknowledge that no one size fits all.
Yeah.
Like you can't stand, if you've got 10 people all lined up and they're all suffering, being diagnosed with PTSD, well, every single one of those 10 people's experience of PTSD could be different.
Yeah.
It may be some people might not be able to sleep, some people might only be able to sleep, like it's going to be so unique for everybody. Is there a couple of things when you come back for the refresh that you've noticed time and time again has been the biggest thing that they've mentioned to you that this has been a constant through line that this has helped?
I'm going to be very biased here, but it would be
nutrition and yoga.
It would be nutrition and yoga.
Oh, what about the laughter, man?
Oh yeah, and the laughter libraries. They love their laughter libraries, but definitely the practical. And I think, like I said, because I've been doing it for a long time now, working out what works and what doesn't work, and not making it complicated. Like when I first came out of uni, I was giving multi-page plans and then I'm like, why aren't they coming back? And like, I'm not doing any of that. Like, I don't 10 pages of, I was so excited. And now I know I just keep it really, hit the big target, big ticket items, and the simple changes that they can make when they go home. Because we discussed nutrition in the partner weekend as well.
Yeah.
How as a family, can you improve diet for the whole family? What little tweaks can you make? And with the yoga and nutrition and sleep, because we take dives into the science of sleep. We go through protocols of sleep strategies, and it's all evidence based. And they go home and start implementing some of these strategies, and they have big
aha moments.
Big aha moments. And I think the other one would definitely be the connection that the group makes in 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, received, some photos and some messages of participants that have gotten together, they've gone camping, they've gone
outside of the program,
paddleboarding together,
that's so
surf
good, isn't
skiing,
it? Isn't that great?
Catching up for coffee. One of our guys just flown down to Melbourne to catch up with, his Queensland police, and he's caught up with a couple of VicPol.
Nice.
And the social connection and the support, and it does, some groups kind of just, after a while they might just dissipate and off doing their thing. But after the program, the support that they have for each other and the friendships that are made,
it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it just, I'm like,
it does give you the warm fuzzies.
It gives me the goosebumps. Yeah, I'm like, this is the
well,
best.
It fills your cup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know, I know that it fills mine when I get out, get a chance to talk to these guys about this stuff. So when I want to talk about how you got to here, right? So when did you come straight out of the Air Force, like 14 years in the Air Force, right?
Yep.
Did you come straight out of the Air Force knowing that, you wanted to go to uni and go down this kind of helping, first responders and veterans sort of thing?
No, it wasn't. The path found me through my lived experience and who I am, and me seeking more, me seeking knowledge. So my youngest went to school, so both my kids are in school. I thought, I need something.
This is when you left the Air Force.
This is after
so 14 years.
So I was out for a while.
And because you were medically discharged.
I was medically discharged, had a spinal fusion when I was in the Air Force, medically discharged. I couldn't do my my secondary appointment was to be very active, and I couldn't do that with my back. So so I was medically discharged, and that in itself was a whole real challenge mentally with the loss of identity. Because I joined up at 17, I attached myself. I'm Jodi Allen. I'm in the Air Force. That's who I was.
And so 17 you started?
I was 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is this something, joining the Air Force is something that you knew that you wanted to do in school? You went,
nope.
No. Right, okay.
No. I was working.
One of the people from the Air Force came to your school and went, wow, that uniform looks cool. I wouldn't mind wearing that.
No, not even that. It was my brother always wanted to join the Air Force as a radio technician. And I'm not even sure where he got his inspiration for that, but we knew that that's what he wanted to do. And I was working at Dreamworld. My mum was looking after the koalas at Dreamworld at the time.
You're working at Dreamworld?
She loved her.
I worked at Dreamworld.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I did work at Dreamworld. When did you work? Oh, yeah. So what were the years that you worked at Dreamworld?
Oh,
I want to know what you did. What did you do while you were there?
Well, I was in retail part of the time, and then at the end of the day, I would dress up as a clown, and I was a great clown. Thank you very much. Why are you laughing?
No.
I would dress up as a clown, and I would sell balloons and terrorise children in the park. I'll have you know, I'm in thousands of photo albums across the world.
I bet
the print ones that you had to go and print off at the photo lab. So whilst I loved, that was fun.
It was. I enjoyed my time working there.
Yeah. Yes.
But
are you going to share your story about working at Dreamworld?
Well, I got paid to scare people. So they had a...
you were meant to scare people. I wasn't meant to scare people.
Well, yeah, that's right. I got paid for it. I went to scare school.
There's a scare school?
I swear to God, it was 2 weeks of scare school training. And
at Dreamworld?
It was the attraction was called the Mummy Live.
Oh, right.
And it was one of those walk-through scare attractions, and it was an outside company called, I think it was Sudden Impact they were called, and so they'd go around the world and they would set up these scare attractions in different theme parks.
Oh, cool.
Right, so I applied, got in. This was 2000 and I'm going to say about 2007 or thereabouts.
Oh,
right?
Geez, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm like, 37, 38 and doing this scare school. And
that would have been fun.
It was great,
Yeah.
And then so we'd scare the daylights out of people, which was pretty cool, getting paid to do that. Was a scam, I tell you. So, and then when that finished, they set up a $3.5 million laser tag arena.
I remember that.
Called Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, that was so cool.
So I was one of the mission commanders, right? So people would come in and I'd be like, hi, my name's Mark McConville. I'm your mission commander today. Make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, you're entering a hostile environment. And so
I remember that.
I'd send 30 people into this laser tag arena.
That was so much fun.
And then I'd wait 30 seconds and then I'd go in and shoot them all. It was great. It was so good. So, it was... anyway, we digress.
Yeah, we digress.
But actually one thing I should divulge while I talking about Dreamworld, I also did suit characters as well. So
did you do Kenny Koala?
I didn't do Kenny... Too tall for Kenny.
Oh, you're too tall. You were too tall.
I did Alex the Lion.
Actually funny.
Right? I did Alex the Lion and Kung Fu Panda. I was Kung Fu Panda, which was great.
You love that.
And the little kids would come up and hug you and then...
If only they knew what was behind the suit.
And every now and then if someone was sick, I'd get the call up to go down into Wiggles World and I'd have to be Wags the dog. Which was great.
It is good fun though, because it's you're not you can just let all your, because I used to be a shy kid. And when I was a clown and wearing makeup and that, it wasn't, no one knew that it was Jodi Allen. It was, you got to be, something else. So I got to come out of my shell a fair bit and have a lot of fun with it. But I didn't feel like it was a long-term career.
No.
And I got a bit moody, and my mum said, you're going back to why I joined the Air Force. Mum was like, we don't really like you much at the moment. She said it with love. It's one of my favourite memories of my mum, because she just, she kept things very real. And she's like, have you thought about, you need to do something, thought about joining the Air Force? And I went, yeah, I reckon I can do that. So I did.
Off you went.
Yeah, off I went. And
so in the 14 years that you were in there, how at what point, where did the injury come in? Like, was it,
early.
Did you early?
Yeah, I was only
really?
I think my third year I started having chronic back pain. I'm a bit of an all or nothing person, which works against me. So I went from not really a very active, school sports, and they weren't my jam. I'm very uncoordinated. If you've ever seen me, if you've ever seen,
we won't tell anybody.
If you've ever seen me throw a ball, and my nickname at Rookies was Helicopter Legs. A few people call me because of the way I used to run. But I'm very all on, and I realised that when I joined the RAAF, very all or nothing. So I was really exercising a lot and running a lot and pushing my little body quite physically hard. And I had a very manual job. I was in an area where it was all heavy aircraft spares, and I had to lift a lot of heavy stuff. So I injured my back very early in my career. And I think I was only in about, it was only in 5 years or something. My timeline of memory is not that great. But I had a spinal fusion and stayed in for 10 years after I had a spinal fusion.
So tell me, what is a spinal fusion?
So for me,
it sounds full on.
It's not fun. So a lot of people, spondylolisthesis is what I had, and it's very common in a lot of people. You can live your whole life. So you have vertebrae and facet joint in your spine, and they should be kind of stacked nicely, and mine were separated. And in a short period of time, and the heavy lifting and the high nature of activity that I did out of work and that as well, made it worse to the point where I was in chronic pain. So they sent me off to a few specialists, and I had an amazing surgeon who said, "You're young, let's fuse you." So I'm fused solid, so L5S1. I'm fused to the base of my spine. They remove the disc. They do it very differently now. They go through your stomach, and they do flexible cages, whereas for me, they fused my lower vertebrae together, and I've got bolts and plates, and I had a bone graft from my hip, and it's fused solid.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a scary thing to go through.
How old were you when?
I think I was about 24.
Oh, that's a lot to process. Because
Well,
you hear that, back injury, like instant fear. That must have been pretty scary.
Yeah. It was inadvertently, there were people that I worked with that were in chronic pain that and it was leading them to medical discharge, and I could see the impact on their quality of life that being in chronic pain was having, and they were much older than me. And for me, I thought, I cannot live the rest of my life in this kind of pain. I will take whatever risk necessary to relieve it, to better my quality of life. And it was the best decision. It was the scariest but best decision I ever made.
Wow.
And I will pretty much die with that fusion. I'll be ching-ching when I'm cremated with my bolts. So I don't regret it. But I managed to stay in for another 10 years, but I pretty much stayed under the radar until...
That's quite an achievement, to stay in for another 10 years after going through
Dr.
that.
Askin, my surgeon, he's retired now, bless him, but I think my last review with him, he's like, it's very rare for anyone to stay in defence that long with a spinal fusion. But I did manage to, I was out of mustering for a while, and I did manage to kind of stay under the radar, but when I was medically discharged was when I needed to be deployable. So my secondary posting was a deployable position, and
That wasn't possible.
yeah, I went out on exercise and I couldn't do a lot of the tasks because of my back. I ended up in hospital, and they went, your time is up, lady.
So is this what led to, you managing this condition? I'm assuming this is something that you still have to manage?
Yeah. Yep. I'll be managing it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and is this where the yoga started to come in? That was part of the managing the
Yeah. So my mum actually, when I got posted back to Queensland to Amberley, my mum started getting into yoga, and it was a huge part of her life. And she said, come to yoga with me. And the difference that it had on my physical and mental health was profound.
Awesome. Yeah. That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I really found it challenging to begin with. The whole, I can't empty my head. I can't, I'd get testy at other people sleeping in
Isn't
yoga.
that interesting that you found that aspect of it challenging? See, I would have thought that the physical aspect of it might have been something that you found challenging, like holding different poses and that sort of stuff. Like, I don't know, is there this fusion? Does this inhibit,
Absolutely.
Certain movement?
Yeah. So, and when I'm teaching, I have to say, if like we're doing any kind of extension, I don't have extension in my lower spine. Same with surfing. So I have to adapt and do the best I can. And I'm like, okay, if you guys want to go into a cobra and extend, you're free to do that. But my fused spine won't allow me to do it. So I meet myself here.
Yeah.
And I learned very early, and Dr. Askin was also amazing in inspiring me to, when I was fearful of my back when I came out of hospital, I didn't trust it. I've got foreign
Of course.
bits and bolts.
Yeah, of course.
And I was,
were they saying to you, there's certain things that we don't want you to do, and then certain things that we do want you to do to try and maintain some type of strength and flexibility?
Yeah, I was very. I did all my rehab, and I had amazing physios. We had a physio that was teaching Pilates and had a Pilates reformer on base at Amberley when I was getting out, and that was new. I don't think it had ever been done before, and I was a bit of a guinea pig for him. So, but Dr. Askin was great in, as long as you're not doing any high contact. Don't go and play rugby or, no high contact kind of sports. You can do, you're not going to make it worse. And if you're in temporary pain, it's, now I look at it, is the juice worth the squeeze? I'm in pain after surfing. I went to the gym yesterday and I cycled, and then I did a yoga class, and there's some of the moves in the yoga that I probably should have backed off a little bit more, but I'm surrounded by all these people. So that can be, I overextended myself a little bit. So then, what am I going to do when I go home? Steam tent, red light therapy, little bit of pain medication, and yeah.
The steam tent, like a little...
I love my steam tent.
One single person sauna.
I've got all the gadgets, everything.
Is that what it is? A single person sauna? See, I looked at one of those the other day. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of the sauna. I used to go to a gymnasium, not to join the gym. I never stepped foot in the weights room. I used to go in there to use the sauna.
Yeah.
for like 20 minutes.
Great for recovery.
And then I'd jump in the pool and swim laps.
Yeah.
It's best.
Yeah. Oh, contrast therapy, even better.
Awesome.
My
How long do you sit in there for?
I do 20 minutes.
Well, that sounds like a long time to be sitting in super sweat fest heat.
Oh, sometimes I have to poke my head out of the tent for a little bit of.
That sounds like a funny visual. This little tent, a little head.
The kids are like, "Where's Mum?" And I'm sitting in my little. It's got a little window that fogs up, and I put little love hearts in the window.
Did you get this from Costco by chance? Because I did see one at Costco for sale recently.
No, I didn't know Costco had one. I just got mine on Amazon. Super cheap, but super effective.
Yeah, cool.
I'm into all the gimmicks. I love them all. And the red light.
What does the red light do?
Don't ask me what the.
When you say red light therapy, like I don't know, do you put in a red bulb and stand under it and go, "Ma"?
Yeah, it's got to be special red lights,
okay.
and it at the cellular level, it helps to. I can't remember all the sciencey stuff off the top of my head, but anyway, it feels really good.
Right,
and
well, that's the main thing. As long as it feels good, do it.
It does some really cool stuff at the cellular level. That's what I can remember off the top of my head. But yeah, great for healing and recovery and injury, and also for skin. So it's at every level of the tissues, basically, every level of the cell as well. So yeah, awesome stuff. Feels amazing. Love that.
There you go.
Yeah, so get one of those.
Okay. So, I'll put it on the list. Okay, let's get back to getting out of the RAAF and going into uni.
Yes.
So was it wanting to be, getting into yoga, wanting to be did you love it that much that you go, I could teach this, I really want to do this? And then how did
not even that.
How did the nutrition, going and doing a clinical nutrition degree come about?
Well, because when I was I was like a vegetarian for 8 years when I was in the Air Force, and I often experienced anemia. I was anemic. I was very tired, fatigued all the time. When I was doing triathlons, I would sleep a lot. I had really low energy. And I was also, running 8 to 10 Ks, every and this was with the spinal fusion. I was running a lot and doing triathlons. So I was all or nothing. Didn't really serve me that well at the time. But I was always tired and fatigued. So I remember, we couldn't Google things back then. So I was always trying to work out ways of eating well as a vegetarian, but there was no knowledge. And even when I would go to the doctor on base, he would go, well, they would say, you're anemic, but not correct it. And even my civvy doctor when I got out. So that's when I realised that I'm trying to eat really well as a vegetarian here, but I am not thriving. So I always had a very keen interest in how nutrition was affecting me and my performance. And I look back at, when I was anemic and, tired, it was affecting my relationship, but I had no awareness of that and no knowledge about it. So I was like, what am I going to study? I should do, and everyone's advice is do something that you're interested in. I'm like, well, I'm interested in nutrition. I've always, and it was, not a surprise to anyone that knew me at the time that it makes total sense, because whenever I was on base, you'd come to my section and people would come and visit me for my nut mix and my trail mix. And, I always had my healthy snacks, and I was always cooking and, trying to make things really interesting and healthy. So it wasn't really a surprise. So, and while I was studying, I was going to Mates for Mates, which is a veterans centre there. And the beautiful Meredith was a yoga teacher there, and a sister of an ex-serving, her brother was a Navy pilot who passed in the Sea King accident, and her son is also serving, or up until recently serving. I was going to her yoga, and it was amazing for my back. It was trauma sensitive yoga, so it was very restorative yoga. So it was different to the yoga, more active yoga I was doing with my mum, and I loved it. My sleep improved, my pain improved.
So because I know the trauma-sensitive yoga is a big part of the Triumph Over Trauma program. So just for our listeners that may not be aware of the difference between normal yoga and trauma-sensitive yoga.
Well, I think all yoga should be trauma-informed, because you never know really who's going to turn up on your mat and what they're bringing to the mat. And a lot of us bring trauma. But when we're a trauma-sensitive or trauma-informed, the terms can be interchangeably used in the teaching space. But when we're trauma-informed, it's all about, you come to the practice, it's all about choice. And it's not about an Instagrammable, yoga pose or pushing yourself into pain. It's, if you just want to lay there and chill out, and you can do a couple of the forms if you want to, but that's okay too. And if you want to get up and leave, I really support you in doing that. And it's just, it's very choice-based, accepting where you are in that moment, because we can turn up to the mat, having a different energy levels, different, fatigue, pain, all of those things. And as a teacher, we're very careful around our language. So I won't ever say like, just relax, or you'll now be feeling a wave of relaxation. And someone will be going, I ain't feeling that, and I'm really testy right now because I've felt like that. So we're very careful around the language that we use. It's very invitational. You might like to try this twist now.
You're very good at it. Like the I think one and only session that I've ever yoga session that I've done with you out at the program that I can't remember, it was a few months ago now.
Yeah.
I remember because I practice yoga to a certain extent. I do a bit, right? But I found it really cool that the way that you took that session was, I looked around the room and there was probably, I'm going to say maybe 12 or 14 of us all on the mats, and at one point there would have been 12 people in 12 different positions, for what made them comfortable and what they were comfortable doing or what they felt like they needed at that time.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you need to roll onto your side? Roll onto your
Go
side.
for it.
Do you feel like you need to, like you said, do the cobra or, whatever it is, it was very choice. It's like you're there to guide them, but the choice is theirs as to,
Absolutely.
And I thought that was really cool. I really, that's one of the things I remember the most about it.
That's awesome.
Like you're very good at it, and having just looking around the room and seeing everybody doing their own thing, and that's cool.
Yeah, I love it, and I think because it's positively impacted me so much, and because I've been doing it for a long time, mostly with people that have never practiced yoga before or have, multiple physical and mental injuries and will say, I don't do yoga or I can't do yoga. I'm like, this is my jam. Because, I kind of break down the misconceptions around what yoga is and should be, and just give them. I really, my main aim is I hope you get to chill out a little bit, and if you don't, that's okay too. You're just being here and just checking in with your breathing. That's it.
Yeah.
Notice your breathing. It's all you have to do while you're here.
Yeah.
And I'm used to agitated people. I'm used to people that are like, I'm not really sure about this. I'm like, just be open. And I really encourage you, if you feel like this is not right for you, just, there's the exit. And it's totally okay. And I always say I don't take it personally, because if you're a really good teacher, you never take it personally if someone needs to practice this doesn't feel right for me, I'm too agitated, I need to go. It doesn't happen very often, but I'll definitely welcome it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2017, 18, we both start with the 4 Aussie Heroes program. You end up being, like you said, you start out in the program as a, facilitator that comes in, does a few sessions and then leaves.
Yeah.
And now, fast forward 2026, you're the lead facilitator for the whole thing. Whereabouts in that journey did the decision come to do a master's degree in counselling?
Well, I received a scholarship when I was at Mates for Mates. So I was doing some peer support around the STARE program with their psychologists. And they offered it to me. They got funding for myself and for some other members to study counselling. I thought, because it's such a big part of also nutrition and the trauma-sensitive yoga that I was teaching, I'm like, this is my jam. So I did that. And then when I was first offered to be the lead facilitator of the program, I thought, I need more knowledge.
Upskill.
I need to upskill I want to serve the groups better. I'm always I wanted to go on to do my master's, and I was thinking about going on and doing a master's in nutrition or public health, and then do a PhD and blah, 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 never ends. But I'm like, do I need that for the nutrition that I'm in the way that I'm working? No, but mental health has become such a big part of what I've gravitated towards. It just made sense to me. And I'm just sponging it up as much as I can while juggling all the other things I'm trying to do.
So how far through it are you?
I'm halfway. I'll finish this year.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. That's so exciting.
It's great. And I'm meeting some amazing, I'm learning from the rest of the cohort that are doing the masters. They're actively working in the mental health around Australia as well. So in different fields. So we learn from each other too.
I love that aspect of it. We did a similar thing in the Master of Suicidology. Every term or semester there was a discussion forum, and you actually you were marked on your interaction and contribution in the discussion forum, So like the senior lecturer might pose a question for the group, the cohort, and then everybody would have to write, it's a discussion forum that everyone has access to, all the students have access to, and you have to put your 2 cents worth in. And then you get marked on your ability to interact. Yeah, I think there was like 3 you had to,
We have that, yeah.
And it was fascinating, because like that learning from your fellow students was so cool, because when we were doing the Masters of Suicidology, we had mental health nurses, we had police officers, we had paramedics, we had counsellors, domestic violence counsellors, and this sort of stuff. And so it's great, isn't it?
Great conversations.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And I think because you have shared meaning for why you're studying as well. So
I am curious, and I'll bring this up because recently when I do these podcast episodes where I talk about research items that I've found from around the world that are interesting, like the Pulse episode, if you want to check it out, people. Any Pulse episode, there's 5 research articles from around the world that I found interesting in the field of mental health, suicide prevention, or human laughter research, right? And where I'm going with this is an episode that I did before Christmas was centered around AI and counselling.
Yeah, big topic.
It is a big topic. Like, I had no idea that, first of all, they're in certain medical fields in Australia, they're actually having AI chatbots for mental health nurses to get support.
Yeah.
But the big one for me was in India. So see if I can remember this. There was 50 trained adolescent psychiatrists for India, which is
Wow.
like
for that population.
for that population, right? And so obviously it's not enough. And so I don't know whether this was funded by the government over there or I don't know where it came from, but there's they've employed a AI chatbot, and 500,000 adolescents in India have used this chatbot in a 12-month period.
Wow.
And because I remember the article and it said AI chatbot establishes a therapeutic alliance with adolescents in under 5 days.
Amazing.
And I'm like, for a start, I couldn't believe that because I'm thinking like, so the therapeutic alliance is the relationship between a clinician and a patient,
Yep.
and it's built on trust. Patients are likely to be more treatment compliant when that relationship is strong and they trust the clinician and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And so the therapeutic alliance is a big thing. And for me to read this article and it said, an AI chatbot is establishing a therapeutic alliance in under 5 days, I'm like, bullshit. Really? That can't be. Where are they pulling that from? So I did a deep dive and found the actual research data that they were using to, for that statement.
Yeah, and they could back it up.
They could totally back it up.
Absolutely.
All of these adolescents saying, I felt listened to.
Yeah.
I felt understood. I felt that I could talk to this chatbot 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
like in the middle of the night. A big thing was because there's a level of anonymity associated with it that they can open up more. And I'm like, this was insane. And to me it screams warning, right? Because you got to to me, you've got to have safeguards in place because it'll never be able to replace this, a human connection.
Yeah.
And I was really taken back by it. So I'm curious to know, is this something that is spoken about in current Master of Counselling?
Absolutely. It was a big topic for us last year. And, when you say like the anonymity for a teen to use technology, they call it the disinhibition effect. So because it's anonymous, and they feel safe with technology, remember too, because they've been brought up with technology. So they can just completely be themselves and reveal things to, and get feedback from AI really quickly without the time of, having to build a rapport and waiting until they feel a time where they feel safe with an
in-person counsellor.
An in-person counsellor. That can take time. And, for, like you said, with the therapeutic alliance, sometimes that can take time and it may not happen because just personality differences, energy, it's
The vibe,
man. Yeah. So, it definitely makes sense for for adolescents because they already have that connection and they feel safe with technology. Whereas I think as adults we're more cautious and wary of it. But I think you're right. They're definitely, the safeguards are because there was that case where that young adolescent was basically having a relationship with his AI chat bot, and he was removing himself with, human relationships, and it deeply affected his mental health. So I think it's like I say with everything, the dose is the poison. But I think if the data is there that thousands of adolescents can create a safe space for themselves.
500,000. I couldn't believe it.
That's that's a good thing that they're not left without any.
Well, what they're saying is it's the first point of call.
Yeah.
It's like the early uptake. So,
and you would hope that there's something built into it that it like check-ins. How's your mood today? And then you would hope that there's a referral there, a system there that, okay, we've flagged that this person is not doing well. How are we going to refer them or get them some actual face-to-face or human help?
So aside from the patient point of view for the counselling using AI, do they talk about how this can be of benefit for you as a practitioner?
Oh, definitely, because since COVID has definitely changed the landscape for online, virtual allied health counselling specialists. Now you can see a psychiatrist over Zoom. So it's definitely, the benefits are accessibility. So for me, my private yoga nutrition clients are all virtual. Occasionally I will see someone face-to-face in Brisbane, but I've kept that to a minimum just as, it's convenient. So the accessibility is fantastic, but there's things that we can miss in the virtual environment, and it can be like the little physical cues and things like that we'll miss. They could be really anxious and shaking their leg under the table, or we might be only, depending on what we can see, we might only see from the shoulders up, so we can miss a lot of physical cues that they might be showing us. And same with yoga, depending on how they set up their camera, often I can't see them at all. So I'm saying, if you have your bolster under your knees right now, you might just want to pop it to the side because they want a little bit of privacy, or they just haven't angled their camera that way. Yeah. So we've had to learn to adapt, but we can make it work. And I've been doing it now for online and teaching yoga online since COVID, because we switched with Mates for Mates. When I was there, we switched over to online. I've been doing it for so long now, I can actually just even by someone's expression on their face or their eyes, I can pick up on someone's energy now pretty well, even if I've only got a small, visual of them. Yeah. But it becomes a skill, and we adapt, and it's great for the client as well, is that they can be in the safety and comfort of their own home. Because often going to an appointment as well is anxiety provoking in itself, especially if you have to catch public transport, or if it's, for me, my clients at the moment are Victoria and Tasmania.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it means that they can access, and then they know me. I've already built that rapport with them through a program and a face-to-face program. They can continue that in a safe environment and keep working together.
Yeah, that's great.
So it definitely has its benefits, but there are some challenges, but I think they can really be circumnavigated with experience.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that the whole AI thing is being addressed and really.
It's basically taken over uni at the moment. I see, my oldest going to uni doing teaching and that as well. It's they're like, use AI to do a lesson plan. And we are it's funny. Like last year, warned do not use AI for your assignments, but then one of our lecturers kept using AI for the lessons. And we're like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
You're telling us not to use it, and it's got ChatGPT says. I'm like, come on, dude, let us use it. Like,
yeah, that's right.
it's like, don't use it, but I will. But yeah, I think we have to move. We as practitioners, we have to move with the times.
Yeah. Well, it's a tool at the end of the day. It's a tool, and it needs to be. It's like any tool in a workshop. Like when it's used properly, it can be used.
Yeah. For sure.
Do good, but if it's used incorrectly, it can harm.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's the way it's always going to be with AI as we, move into the future and it gets used more and more.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
So, okay, so military, all of that. And now aside from the work that you do with the 4 Aussie Heroes, you're also an ambassador for Buddy Up Australia. Now, this is another cool organisation that you're associated with, and I see the big smile on your face. You love it.
I do love it.
So
I'm so grateful.
I tell you, you do wear so many hats, I tell you.
I know, it's exhausting being me.
Okay.
I know, that's why I need yoga and I need to rest. I need my naps.
Talk to us about Buddy Up Australia and what it is and what you do for them.
Yeah, they're a great organisation. They're still pretty young. I think they're about 4 or 5 years old now. Formulated, can't even say that word, by a couple of veterans in Western Australia. And it's really, so I'm their ambassador of nutrition. I've been their ambassador for about a year now. They approached me at the beginning of last year, and they're very focused on not just the veteran and the post-first responder community, but current serving as well. So we're doing some really cool stuff, but it's very, connecting over like physical activity, recovery, social things, but anything from...
How can I just on that quickly, how hard is it to get engagement from people that are currently serving as opposed to people that have left the service? I would imagine that would be a challenge.
Yes, and it's a different approach.
Right.
So what we're working on at the moment, and I'm involved with the Queensland Police, is I'm helping develop their tactical nutrition component of, we're doing well-being programs with Queensland Police. So, and we're having people...
Did you put the word tactical in there because it's the cops and they like that tactical
They like
stuff?
the word tactical, yeah. They like to feel special. And so they should.
Tactical nutrition. Watch out!
But they need unique advice. The feedback that I was given, that was they were being given very generalised nutrition advice that would also be given to the general public.
This is when they're in like the police academy, coming through training. Is that what you're talking about?
No, when they're on the job.
Okay.
When they're on the job. So, and depending, we have very active tactical operators to, office-based people in service and that as well. So their needs are very different, but and their demands are very different, and their nutrition around high stress, possibly burning thousands of calories above the average person in a short period of time. And shift work. What are their nutrition needs around big shift impact, work, which is a big, their circadian rhythm, the science around nutrition timing, and that is very unique to them. So for my angle working with Buddy Up and Queensland Police is developing the, nutrition around the unique needs of their active service. So, and our other ambassadors that will come along on these wellbeing days with Queensland Police as well. How are they looking after their mental health and well-being. What are they doing as recovery processes? We've got financial advice in that as well. So it's all the pillars of also exercise. How are they looking after their mobility for them to perform on the job as well? So it's a multi-pillar kind of angle that we're going at with the current serving. So yeah, it's a little bit different, but also having the social connection and that and recovery processes, things they're doing on their downtime, like come and go for a hike or come and do an ice bath and a recovery session, sauna on a weekend to decompress.
Yeah.
So we're really encouraging those. What's your life like out of service, and what are you doing to, help what I was saying earlier about down-regulating rest and recovery, which is super important for the highest of performers. It's essential. Yeah. So, no, I love it. We're doing some really, really cool stuff and we're growing very fast.
So I will, in the show notes, I'll make sure that we put up the links to the 4 Aussie Heroes Foundation, obviously, and yourself, Jodi Allen Nutrition. So if people want to get a hold of you, and Buddy Up Australia, and so this is something that is easily accessible for current serving people. And
absolutely, yeah. They can sign up on the website. Membership is free. Most of the activities are free and fully funded. So
is that great? So is it where are they getting the funding from?
Funding from grants, grants and donations. So very busy. But we have an amazing
the corporate
team.
sector. Would a lot of it be the corporate sector funding this?
No, like my online yoga that I do once a month with Buddy Up, it was sponsored by the Yoga for Good Foundation.
Yeah.
So I can't say specifically, I'm not on the board or where their funding comes from, but I know that they put money in for grants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, because I know that a lot of these programs that it costs money to run them, and I know like the Aussie Heroes Foundation, getting that balance between, and this is my personal view on this in relation to the government's ability to step in and fund programs for veterans and first responders and our current, whether they're serving or ex-serving first responders and veterans. It just seems to me that it's a duty of care, that the government, like whether it's state government or federal government, we entrust these men and women to look after our communities and our country, and at great personal cost a lot of the time to themselves and their family.
Yeah.
And it is, I believe that the government has a duty of care to fund these programs, and it annoys the shit out of me how programs like Buddy Up Australia and whoever else have got to constantly fight tooth and nail to get government money.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it shouldn't be up to charities, to charitable organisations to support our serving members and ex-serving members. And, there is more money being thrown around in the veteran space compared to the first responder space. And
that's right.
I know there is, the wellbeing, Sir Wellbeing for QPS are trying really hard to change the landscape, and that's their, working with Buddy Up for us to deliver these wellbeing programs. But Buddy Up are funding, like me appearing and speaking because QPS don't have the budget to pay for it themselves. So whilst they have the intent and they know the need is there, they're also limited by budget and resources.
Yeah.
So but it's a great collaboration.
It's so inspiring
moving forward.
When all of these things get done outside of government assistance. When you see how much things get achieved from just good people out there going hard, raising funds, putting together programs and all this sort of stuff, and having minimal government support a lot of the time. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
It is really hard for people though as well. There are so many, thousands upon thousands of not-for-profits, and especially in the veteran space.
There's a lot in Australia, has hundreds of thousands of not-for-profits.
Yeah, and, you know, like who do you trust? You know, who's doing good work? Who's doing damage? Some of these organisations are, you know, causing harm to the mental health of their members and that as well. So it is a tricky space to be in, and for me, I've had to learn I need to walk away. That's not meeting my values.
So for anyone listening that is, you know, trying to navigate this minefield of support services and this sort of stuff, I know myself, my suggestion would be to gravitate towards organisations where their programs are evidence-based.
Yes, yeah.
Is the big thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, grounded in evidence.
Yeah, and who is delivering, you know, are they qualified? What is their experience? What is the background? You know, what is the feedback from other members about the organisation? So, that's where I'm at the moment, is aligning myself with what feels right.
Yeah, that's right. It's the vibe, man.
It's the vibe, man. It's the vibe.
Buddy up's great. Okay, so we're doing all right. Now, I did say at the start of this episode that we had a surprise for our listeners. And,
yes.
And
I'm thinking, what's surprise?
Well, you are involved.
I thought you were going to give me a present.
Oh, geez, now you make me feel like I'm guilty because I haven't got anything.
No, I do appreciate the sparkling water.
You like that? Okay, good. Well, I'm glad I appreciate the fact that you appreciate it. So, the big announcement, my friends, my listening friends, wherever you are, is that Jodi Allen, the lovely Jodi Allen, has agreed very kindly, with given everything else that you've got on your plate at the moment, to do a life skills masterclass series of podcast episodes with me over the next month. So I am incredibly grateful to you for your time and your enthusiasm in helping me get this off the ground. So to let people know where this has come from is I was doing a lot of laughter clinics for high schools for the teachers, and then I was getting teachers saying, this is a good presentation. Have you got something for our adolescent 15 to 17-year-olds? And I didn't have a presentation at the time, and I thought, what would I want to talk to these young people about aside from the mental health and suicide prevention, humour and laughter stuff that I talk about? And I came across the World Health Organization's 10 life skills that they have got this, document that they put together in relation to adolescence and this sort of stuff. And I thought, wow, this is really, there's a lot of really good things in there. So things like, coping with emotions and dealing with stress and, the thinking, critical thinking, creative thinking and decision-making and communication and which is a big one, interpersonal relationships and stuff. And so I built the Life Skills Masterclass presentation for the adolescents. And the more I'm doing it for the adolescents in the high schools, going from there to doing the adult presentations for corporate environments and our first responder and veteran friends, I thought, maybe I reckon the Life Skills Masterclass could be something that could be in the corporate environment as well, because there's a lot of really good information that we may not, really constantly think about in our day-to-day lives. And then when I thought about turning it into a podcast, I thought, do one life skill every week, and then I thought, that's a bit long, and then so with bringing you on board, Jodi, we're actually adding to the life skill. So it's a 10 list from the World Health Organization, but we are adding mindfulness and lifestyle medicine, which is really your jam, and it's so exciting. So basically this is going to be a 4-part series we're doing over the next 4 weeks. So episode 1, we're going to be diving into, foundational stuff, self-awareness and problem solving and coping with stress, and then we'll go on to, each episode over the 4 weeks will cover 3 life skills that intertwine with each other. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be good fun.
Yeah, I'm so excited that you're what you bring to this conversation and what you bring to the table for the life skills is going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
4 episodes.
Yeah, we can do it.
We can totally do it. So yes, tune in, my friends, over the next 4 weeks. And Jodi and I will be doing our Life Skills Masterclass series. And, we know that you're going to enjoy it and you're going to get stuff out of it. So let's wind up our chat for today.
Okay.
Right? And once again, thank you so much for your time. I know you're very busy. I really appreciate it. But we do wind up our episodes by doing with our guests the Feel Good 5.
Oh, that's right.
The Feel Good 5. That's
Feel Good 5.
So, and
hit me with it.
You've seen, because you've seen me do the Laughter Clinic live presentation enough times to know where this is going. So, because it's stuff that I talk about in the presentation. So, but now you're on the receiving end, Jodi Allen.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1 on the Feel Good 5 to wind us up is what makes you happy.
Oh, being in nature with my family, being in the surf, and getting to do what I love.
Are you a good surfer?
No, I'm terrible. I fly my they call me jazz hands.
Really? Okay.
My arms it doesn't make for good videoing. I got a video of my last surf together and I wave my arms up around in the air because I'm so excited. And I'm trying to keep my balance. I wave my arms around like a lunatic. It looks like, to the surf lifesavers.
I'm doing it.
She needs, why is she waving? She needs help, but she's actually on her board. Yeah, no. But I don't care. Yeah. I have no expectation to ever be an amazing surfer. I'll just, get out amongst it.
It's your happy place, being
That's
out
my
on the
happy
water.
place.
Yeah, nice.
Don't get to do it as often as I would like, but that makes me really, that's complete nervous system reset for me. Being hiking, being in nature, reaching a summit, or being out in the water.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
Yeah, that's cool. What are you grateful for today?
I'm definitely grateful for my health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, my work. I'm grateful for that too.
Yeah. Excellent. I'm grateful for our friendship.
Oh, me too.
And I'm very grateful for the fact that you've agreed to do these series with me. Very grateful. Okay, next on the list, what are you looking forward to? What's coming up?
Ooh, I'm looking forward to going back to Tassie, and we are going to the Moral Injury Conference in May.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to that.
That is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
First one. It is the first one.
Oh, I thought they had one last year.
No, it got postponed last year. It was supposed to be on last year, but and this one brings in New Zealand into the mix as well. So, that is. I'm really looking forward to that. That's very.
It's a burgeoning field of study and.
Well, and also, especially aside from the fact that we both work with first responders and veterans. It's not until you dive into the moral injury space through our friend Nikki Jameson that you realise how many professions are affected by moral injury.
Yeah, and still, when I talk about moral injury on the PTSD program, a lot of people are going, wait, what? I think I have moral injury more than I have post-traumatic stress, because there is a subtle difference there of what it is in response to. And it's just like you see their eyes wide open going, wait, this is the first time I've heard of this. That's me. This is what I'm going through right now. So I can't wait to go and learn more.
Yeah.
So that's going to be great. And then I'm going to tack on the end of that, go and see my old Tassie mates and catch up with Warfighter Coffee, who are a massive supporter. We support each other. And then next thing I'm looking forward to is going to the trauma conference at Oxford University in the UK in September.
Wow.
Got a little scholarship to go over to do that.
Did you?
So I'm
That's
staying,
cool. How cool is that?
Yeah, I'm staying on campus at Oxford Uni, so I'm going to be maybe one of the oldest students there, but I don't care. I can't wait. And I've got some friends to catch up with over there, and one of my friends is going to come and travel with me too. She's amazing. So, I can't wait for that. So got some just sponging it all up.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And just in case anybody is interested about the moral injury stuff, you could check out the Laughter Clinic episode where I interviewed Dr. Nikki Jameson, and she is...
It's a great interview, yeah.
She is all about the moral injury.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking forward to it. That's cool. You got some great stuff to look forward to.
Yeah,
Very, very cool.
Big year.
What's your me time? I know you kind of touched on this before when you were talking about the surfing, but when you want to just switch off from the world and recalibrate, what are you doing?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I started in the morning. It's coffee on my deck, no device. I can be a bit of a doom scroller. So
Can't we all do it?
I do the delay tactic in the morning. So it's like, nope, not looking at my emails, no. So I sit and have my coffee on my deck and I can see a glimpse of the Brisbane River. And also yoga is a me time as well. It's like nothing else is happening when I'm practicing. So,
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, very important to me.
Nice one. Yeah. And the last one on the Feel Good 5 is what's made you laugh recently?
I definitely, the heartiest laugh was the last refresh program that we had at the end of last year. We had the bad suits and...
Heard about this.
You've heard about this. The bad suits and sequins sober party, and it is the most laughter and fun, and everyone was the same. Like I had a playlist, we had music, and everyone like dressed up, and you got these senior police officers in some interesting attire, and we were just like bad dancing, singing, and no alcohol needed. And even the next, like we just laughed. I did the dead ants on the dance floor that we used to do when we were 17. At the
Is there a bit of
nightclubs in Wagga?
A bit of sprinkler going on?
Oh yeah, there were. Yes, there's actually video footage of the sprinkler.
Is that right?
Someone was dancing on a table. It was just so much fun. We had because we'd already bonded and connected as a group, and then come back together.
Yeah.
So
this was something that had been planned prior to the refresh, or did you?
I planned it. It's the first time we had our.
Did they know it was coming?
Yes, because they had to. I'm like,
show up with
get
gear.
your outfit. It's bad suits.
What
or
a
sequins.
cool thing to give them to look forward to.
Yeah, so everyone took part. Everyone, had a suit. Someone had a suit from Bali. Someone had an op shop glittery dress on. They may have swapped over at some stage where the guy was wearing the sequin dress and the heels. But oh man, it was so much fun. And the next day, everyone's like, that is the most fun I've had sober in years. It's just, we often use alcohol as a social lubricant, but man, we did not need it. It was, it's one of my favourite memories. I think it will be for a long time. It was it was an absolute blast.
Lots of laughter.
Yeah, lots of laughter. My face was sore by the end of the night. It was great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a gem. You're an absolute gem. And I look forward to our upcoming 4 episodes diving into the life skills. And
it's going to be fun.
We're going to spend a bit of time hanging out. So there you go, my friends. I will put in the show notes links to the 4 Aussie Heroes Foundation, Jodi Allen Nutrition, Buddy Up Australia as well. Yeah. And so tune in the next 4 weeks. We're going to be going into some life skills masterclass stuff. Woo-hoo. So, yeah, it's going to be very cool. So, as always, my friends, wherever you are listening, I really appreciate your time and really appreciate your time in joining me, and really appreciate your time in listening and tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends, like, subscribe, all of that sort of stuff. And as always, please be kind to yourself and be kind to those around you. Talk to you next time. Cheers.
See ya.
Thank you for listening. The information contained in this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes. It is not intended, nor should it ever replace advice received from a physician or mental health professional. Want more info? Visit thelaughterclinic.com.au. If you enjoyed the episode, please share and subscribe. Thanks again for listening to the Laughter Clinic podcast with your host, Mark McConville.